Global markets mixed, Asia up with strong yen, Bitcoin down and new troubles for FTX. Good morning everyone and thank you for choosing today's market analysis. Every day, our goal is to provide you with a thorough and knowledgeable analysis of the most relevant financial news to help you navigate the complex economic landscape. Let's begin our daily review. Market analysis, October 12, 2023. Asian shares opened higher Thursday after U.S. stocks rose for a fourth straight day. Investors shrugged off hotter than expected U.S. wholesale inflation data amid less hawkish commentary from Federal Reserve officials. Benchmarks in Japan and South Korea climbed around 0.7% at the open. Australian stocks held small gains. Traders are also eyeing China stocks after the nation's sovereign wealth fund increased its stake in the country's biggest banks for the first time since 2015 on Wednesday. The move may fuel speculation of broader support and more government efforts to boost the stock market. The upbeat sentiment follows remarks from Fed leaders suggesting a more patient approach to rate hikes now that policy is at or near peak levels. Boston Fed President Susan Collins said officials are taking a more cautious stance with rates near their peak. Her Atlanta counterpart Raphael Bostic said further tightening is unnecessary unless inflation slows. Governor Christopher Waller noted the Fed can watch and see before acting again as markets tighten on their own. U.S. futures also advanced after the S&P 500 logged its longest winning streak since August. Meanwhile, Treasury yields were little changed in early Asian trading following mixed results Wednesday. Long-dated tenors held most gains as Australian 10-year bonds headed for a sixth consecutive rise. The yen remained strong around 149 per dollar as the greenback weakened against all G10 peers. Looking ahead, Thursday's U.S. CPI data is in focus with policymakers balancing risks of over-tightening against keeping inflation on a downward trajectory toward the 2% target. Fed minutes showed officials agree policy should stay restrictive for some time to cool inflation, while noting risks have become more balanced. As LPL Financial's Jeffrey Roach said, the risk of over-tightening appears to be in balance with the risk of insufficient tightening. On earnings, Wall Street analysts are boosting U.S. profit forecasts even before the new reporting season starts, signaling the worst of the slump is likely over as easing inflation reduces pressure across industries. J.P. Morgan, Citi and Wells Fargo kick off bank results Friday, expected to book more bad loan provisions than during the pandemic as higher rates and potential recession squeeze borrowers. In company highlights, China's sovereign wealth fund increased its stakes in the country's largest lenders ICBC, CCB, and BOC. This is its first raise since 2015, fueling speculation of more support to lift the stock market. To summarize, Asian equities followed Wall Street higher while Fed speakers struck a less aggressive tone on rates. U.S. CPI and the start of earnings season are the next key events for gauging inflation and corporate health. Signs point to peak hawkishness from the Fed as it balances competing risks. Before proceeding with our analysis, we would like to remind you that your support is very important to us. If you enjoy this video and find our content helpful and engaging, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. This helps us grow and provide you with even more quality content. Now, let's get back to the news on the financial markets and the latest updates. Bitcoin extended its losing streak to 5 straight days, dropping below $27,000 on Thursday. The leading cryptocurrency fell 2% to around $26,600, continuing its decline after starting to drop on Sunday. Equities also dipped after gaining earlier this week, and gold edged higher. The latest consumer price index due later today is expected to show inflation slowed slightly in September. In altcoin news, BRIC, the native token of Reddit's Fortnite community, surged 110% over 24 hours after having lost over 80% of its value in the past 2 months. The majority of trading occurred on Kraken, with volume across all exchanges nearing $750,000, an 800% increase from the previous day, according to CoinMarketCap. There is no clear catalyst for the price increase. Meanwhile, Caroline Ellison, former CEO of Alameda Research, wept on the stand during her second day of testimony against Sam Bankman-Fried. Ellison described the collapse last November of Alameda and its sister company FTX as well as the relief she felt as their fraud became public. "I felt a sense of relief that I didn't have to lie anymore," Ellison testified, her voice trembling as she recalled a text exchange with Bankman Fried during what she called the overall worst week of my life. I felt indescribably bad about all the people that lost their jobs and the people that trusted us that we had betrayed, she told the packed courtroom. In funding news, Membrane Labs raised $20 million in a series of rounds from major industry players like Brevin Howard Digital and Point72 Ventures. The crypto trading and lending platform plans to use the capital to build the infrastructure needed to avoid further disasters like FTX. Other big names participating included Jane Street, Flow Traders, QCP Capital, Two Sigma Ventures, Electric Capital, Jump Crypto, QCP Capital, GSR Markets, Belvedere Trading, and Framework Ventures. Looking at market analysis, research firm K33 said Chainlink's native token Link might be the safest bet for investors seeking exposure to the real-world asset tokenization trend. Analyst David Zimmerman called Link the safest option to profit from the growing hype around placing traditional assets like private equity on blockchains. Proponents argue tokenization can reduce costs and improve accessibility. Finally, a chart tracking Ethereum validator queues shows staked Ether growth slowing after the Shanghai upgrade. The number of validators waiting to begin staking has declined to just 2,000. According to Falkinks, the near-empty activation queue signals a slowdown in growth of total staked ETH. Key events this week. Bank of Japan's Asahi Noguchi speaks, Thursday. UK industrial production, Thursday. US initial jobless claims, CPI, Thursday. European Central Bank publishes account of September policy meeting, Thursday. Fed's Raphael Bostic speaks, Thursday. China CPI, PPI, trade, Friday. Eurozone industrial production, Friday. U.S. University of Michigan consumer sentiment, Friday. Citigroup, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, BlackRock results as the quarterly earnings season kicks off, Friday. G20 finance ministers and central bankers meet as part of IMF gathering, Friday. ECB President Christine Lagarde, IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva speak on IMF panel, Friday. Fed's Patrick Harker speaks, Friday. Some of the main moves in markets. Stocks. S&P 500 futures rose 0.2% as of 9:28 a.m. Tokyo time. The S&P 500 rose 0.4%. Nasdaq 100 futures rose 0.2%. The Nasdaq 100 rose 0.7%. Japan's Topix rose 0.9%. Australia's S&P/ASX 200 rose 0.2%. Currencies. The Bloomberg Dollar Spot Index was little changed. The euro was little changed at $1.0623. The Japanese yen was little changed at 149.13 per dollar. The offshore yuan was little changed at 7.2994 per dollar. The Australian dollar was little changed at $0.6417. The British pound was unchanged at $1.2313. Cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin rose 0.4% to $26,824.84. Ether was little changed at $1,564.20. Bonds. The yield on 10-year treasuries was little changed at 4.55%. Australia's 10-year yield declined 9 basis points to 4.34%. Commodities. West Texas Intermediate crude fell 0.5% to $83.05 a barrel. Spot gold was little changed. In conclusion, we'd like to thank you for watching today's market analysis. If you enjoyed our insights and found the information helpful, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to our channel to stay updated with future analyses. Thank you again for your support, and we'll see you soon with more interesting news. Remember, the information in this video is purely informational and does not constitute investment advice. Always consult with a professional before making financial decisions.